Vicky, Wembley, what does it mean to you as a Wigan player?
Oh, everything. I think the minute you pull on a Wigan shirt, it comes with a pressure of winning trophies, and something sadly that we've not been able to do for the last few seasons. So I think the last couple, 2 years, we've really started to bridge that gap. We've get better and better, and this season we've really come out fighting. So I think we're ready, and I think there's a very strong chance that we'll be lifting that cup on Saturday.
Unbeaten so far this season. Are you the favourites against St Helens? Do you feel that?
You know what? I feel like it's a bit of sort of unknown territory. When we're going into games as favourites, we haven't been like that for I don't think ever since I've been playing for Wigan. I think we went in as favourites against Leeds, and it just didn't. I think we just should focus on what the challenge is in hand. We're not really going in worrying about who's favourites, who's not. We know with our game plan we can do it. We know we can win. I think it's just those other little distractions. We're just going to try and sort of forget them. Remember, it's a grass pitch with a set of sticks at the end, and aim to just play some rugby.
You've got a very young squad, but this is the first time any of you have played at Wembley. Have you been pitch side before?
I have, yeah. So I've been pitch side last year. I was on the BBC commentary team last year doing the pundits. So, and in previous years I've just been there as a fan, watching on, to be honest, and that hunger to actually be there and actually now playing on it. I was watching last year thinking, I want that, I want to do that, and gladly we're here.
So you've been there, you've seen how big the stadium is when you are pitching. Is that something you're going to have to warm the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, and I think the preparations, we've got a good week planned. We're going down Thursday night. We'll get to see the place on Friday. So I think just getting the little things we've seen for the first time out of the way is going to be massive. And I think regardless of how many times you've been there, I think every single player is going to feel that pressure on Saturday. So it's just going to be about remaining calm and focused and not letting the occasion get to you.
Is that what it's about this week? Just remaining focused on that, because obviously you all know how to pass and tackle and kick.
Yeah, we want to enjoy it as well, and I think sometimes if you let the pressure get to you too much, that'll be lost. We've worked hard to get here. The club have invested so much in us, and the whole, not just us but the club, we all want to enjoy it. Our family that are there through thick and thin, behind the scenes, wiping our blood, sweat and tears, helping us through that. We want to enjoy it, and I think the focus and calmness is going to be key to that.
The players who weren't born in this country and don't know Wigan as much as you and some of the younger players who do, have you had to teach them about Wembley and what it means to Wigan as a club? Because when I was growing up, Wigan were there every year.
And that's it, and I think we've got a few Aussies on our team, and I think they really sort of hit home how much it means to us when we beat Leeds in that semi-final. You just saw the reaction of the girls. We made it, we finally did it, and this has been coming a long time. I think they saw the magnitude and what this means to us just by the response, the amount of tears on the pitch, and they're fully invested in it. They're just as excited. One of the girls, Emily, her mum's at home in Australia. She's got Wembley nails ready, with the Wigan colours on it. So it just means as much to them as it does to us. They're really getting involved with what the feel of it all.
We just get something in the men's game, don't we? Because you've all got your scrunchies and stuff. I've got my scrunchies ready for Saturday, and I'm not doing those. But the men don't have that kind of way of expressing themselves.
Yeah, I think that's where it's different a little bit with the way. I'm not saying that the men don't, but if you speak to a lot of girls, they actually feel better and more confident when they feel like they look better as well. And it's not really so much to do with the TV. I suppose you can describe it as a bit of war paint as such. Just making sure that you feel all right for the occasion and just going into that game as confident as you possibly can. We've talked about scrunchies and boots and even trainers that we're going to wear just to watch it, to match our kits and our tracksuits. So just little things like that. We actually, that attention to detail means a lot to us.
I'm always wary because, like I say, I wouldn't say to one of the men's players, "Oh, how are you going to have your hair done?" Because it's not to say that the women's game isn't strong and powerful and tough and all that. Because you had a tough game against Leeds on Saturday.
Oh yeah, we really did. I'm spotting a little bit of a black eye as we speak, but saying that, the men, I'm sure, I know there's a few of the lads players that I know, they have haircuts every week before game day, so I think there's a similarities there. But yeah, I think both Saints and us, we've gone through some tough games this weekend, and you can look at the pros and cons and the argument of what sort of side you should put out the week before Wembley. Don't get me wrong, there was a real worry that I just wanted everyone to get through fit. I wanted Dennis to have a fully fit squad to be to select from, so there's that little bit of worry, but then also you want some consistency, and I think having that really tough game at the weekend, because they were so physical, really sort of set us up for this week. We've had two tough games now against York as well, and obviously Leeds again in the semi. So yeah, we feel a little bit more ready, having to go through those moments. The goal line defence that we've not really been stretched as much, just helps us in preparation for the weekend.
So it was said you started playing in a boys' team.
I did, yeah.
When I was younger, and I was not a very good player, but I would dream of running out of Wembley, and that could have happened, albeit improbably. It could have happened.
No, do you know what?
And now it's going to happen.
It wasn't even on my radar. You know, I was a big fan of rugby league. I always have done. My dad played for Wigan, and my uncles played for the local amateur club at Rochdale. But it's something that I just would have never even considered. You know, and to get the moment now, I'm just really glad that I pushed my body all the way to this late stage and just have this year of experiencing it.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.